Welcome to the Smite Force Chronicles, brought to you by First Class Air Travel on JetBlue. Not all of us get to experience that. And that was, you looked like you were talking about bougie. Holy smokes. Alright, so here we are, guys. We're starting. Everyone, I always, it's the same script every week. Does everyone have the map?
Yes.
All right. Oh my gosh, I'm so delighted. You guys are all on video, and it makes it so much more personal for me. So thank you for being videotastic today. You can make eye contact.
We had to show off our shirts. Milan, yours is in the mail.
Pride.
Look at that.
The pride.
Yeah, I have one for you too, Milan. So I just have to figure out how to get it to you.
Tears have fallen because of this shirt.
They're very cool. I'll give Curtis. Let me open up your. I'm sorry, Dinjarin. I'm going to give you an inspiration point for creating T-shirts for the group. So there you go.
Ooh.
You have been inspired. All right. So when we were last here, some really bananas stuff happened. You guys dispatched the Azures, right? You figured out the puzzle. You dispatched the Azures. You were earned. You have honor. You earned your way into the depths of the tomb. As you, after I think dispatching the last Azure, it was mostly Tyros. He had a good run last game. After the last one was dispatched, the fire all but disappeared, and you were able to pull the sword from the dragon skull. Now, getting to the sword was an adventure in and of itself. It was like the amazing race between both Glory and Dinjarin. At any given point, I thought one or the other was going to make it first. But alas, thanks to something called Misty Step, Dinjarin was able to sort of like drift his way to the sword and yank it from the skull. Doing so did a couple of things. It unlocked the door to the depths below, and landed Dinjarin with a pretty interesting sword, which, and here's the big twist, he immediately handed to Glory.
To a dumbfounded Glory.
Very dumbfounded. Well, I think to a dumbfounded everyone in the party. So Glory now
It looked like just an old sword when I tried to investigate it. I was like, oh, that's just an old sword.
So Glory has a great sword. I believe it's been identified. That's correct, right, guys?
Yep, and everyone knows about it.
As it's Baphomet's great sword, and I'm not going to get into it here, but the number of things that it does for the holder is pretty phenomenal. So you guys crept your way down a hallway, and let's do a little bit of narrative to just sort of bring it back home. The passage seems to be sloping downward, deeper into the ground. The hallway is very straight, about 10 feet high and 10 feet wall to wall. The floor is stone, the ceiling is roughly 15 feet above you, carved out of the same stone. It gets warmer as you walk. It is still just north of comfortable, but you feel the warmth. It wraps around you like a warm hug. It's also dark and quiet. You approach a door. So there you go. So you've approached a door.
You guys want to send in your familiars first?
I want to quickly use my potion of healing, so we don't know what's up.
Yeah, might as well do.
Oh yeah, you guys discussed doing a short rest here?
No, we are not. Well, no, we didn't.
Yeah, I think we had talked about it, but decided because there's too much stuff that could happen to us here, not to risk it.
Ah, a risk-adverse team.
But I am going to use my potion of healing on myself just to make sure.
Anyone? Yeah. So why don't you guys take 30 seconds and do what you need to do? You probably need to reload, restock. If you're going to outfit yourself, change weapons, all of that stuff needs to happen right now. would also like you guys to sort of talk amongst yourselves, preferably in roleplay mode, first person at least, and then on sort of how you want to handle what's happening next.
I think we should just walk in. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I don't know if you guys see, like, there. It looks like there's like a little alcove or something on the right side there, like a little triangle of light, or is that just a mess up?
That looks like a mess up. Someone's not very good at doing walls. Let's blame the.
Okay. Then
let's blame.
Never mind. That is
Okay.
apparently.
Let's just cautiously open up the door, or like kind of creak it over with caution, and then see if we can't hear, smell, taste, whatever, anything in the air, get any ideas. I can, once the door is open a little bit, I can send Salem in to kind of check things out, but
Which of you has?
Jar and keep the door
Wait,
open.
which of you has? Do all of you have dark vision?
Yeah.
I have
I do.
I do.
So, Alexandria, you do not have dark vision. So,
I'm an owl.
I don't know what to tell you. You don't have dark vision. So you need to either light a torch or you're going to have to move at half speed.
Okay, I want to light a torch and take a healing potion.
All right.
Those are my two things.
I'll light your torch for you, and then you do the healing potion.
Do I just like uncarry it?
Yeah, you use it and then you delete it. So you now should have torch going. All right, so when you guys are ready, so Dinjarin, you're up against the door. Did you want to do anything while you're there while they're prepping? And by the way, is my audio any better? I messed with my microphone. I'm trying to go for a more throaty sound.
I kicked the door open.
Do you?
I heard
I
open
literally
doors.
said,
I
I literally said, with caution, push the door open to sense what's going on the other side. You are.
I'm not
Dinjarin,
walking in.
I need you to roll a d20.
Oh, great.
You're very lucky.
Oh.
Anything
Lucky.
anything above a 5, you're going to have a random encounter. So you're welcome.
Oh,
Oh,
well, that worked out in my favor then.
It did.
we're playing
It did.
golf rules today.
All right. Anyone else healing up? Alexandria, Dinjarin, you're both still slightly hurt.
Yeah, I already used one of my healing potions.
All right. And are you calling your mastiff?
No, I am not at this time. Oh, there we go. Something.
Okay. And if you look just to get to your mastiff, I think you can get to Mastiff Steve. If you look at your cohorts, just so you know, so I have him in your cohorts. That means that you can control him.
Oh, nice.
So I gotta catch me an animal.
I know, I'm having
And the same with Glory. You have your cohort is Salem the Imp. So you should see that in your cohorts tab.
Okay. Cohorts, Salem the Imp. But I don't control him there. It's just a link in.
It's just a link about his character sheet. Although it turns out, so that was what you should have done. I have to delete that one because you have a Salem the Imp character, and what you should have had is a Salem the Imp NPC who doesn't get any experience points.
Oh, Iros has dark vision too. So.
Yeah, I saw that. I just checked everybody. Everyone was good except for Alexandria. So anytime Alexandria leads, there's a 20-foot radius of light, just so you know.
This
So
doesn't make sense because if she's part owl, owls see it.
yeah, I don't make the
They're not
rules. I
tall.
just enforce them like a bad cop. And then Stefanos, you're trailing the back, right?
Hmm.
All right. So, 1 second.
Hey, quick question, and I know I should know this, but for some reason, some of my items and my actions have like a little like gray box with a red line through it.
In your
What is that?
actions?
Yeah, what does that indicate? Like,
I have.
like as an example, if you go to my first level spells, detect magic has a gray box with a line through it. Does that just mean I can't use that right now?
I have no idea, guys. Let me open it up.
Well,
So I'm gonna click the link and open it up. While you are wearing armor, you gain a +1 bonus. When you're wielding a melee weapon, you get a +2 bonus.
well, I mean, it's even on things like my rations and my healing potions have it.
Hold on, I'm
the
clicking.
only reason why I ask it is because if we do go into battle and I need to use a healing potion, but it doesn't let me for some reason, I just want to make sure that I can still use it.
I don't know. Is it because it's already active?
Oh, maybe that's what it is. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, I think that means it's active, right?
Okay, cool.
Or always active or something. So, congratulations, I did a thing. There we go. I did a thing, guys. I'm excited about having done a thing. I'm looking for one other thing, and then so does anyone else need to do anything before we proceed?
Nope, all healed up. Just wish I had my spell slot.
Me too, but we have a time limit.
Wait.
We do.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm looking for something. It's escaping me. So, do you guys have your plan? Once the doors open?
We
Sending
are
in the
all
imp.
right. We're gonna send in Dinjarin because he kicked down the door. I'm gonna sacrifice my imp for this dimwit, and then just kidding. But anyways, Dinjarin, why don't you go in, check it out, and let us know what's going on.
All right, so Dinjarin, while you guys are all sort of like doing potions and sort of focused on yourself, you hear this big crash. Which that's not supposed to be a stone sound, but whatever. And Dinjarin, sort of the doorway opens in front of you. So you don't kick it off the hinges, but it just sort of flies open with a thud, and you guys hear this sort of echo, through the floor. This hallway seems to curve sort of both left and to the right, and to the right sort of seems to be it seems to be sort of a part of a big ring. So your spidey sense says this might be some sort of like a circular hallway, but it's too soon to tell. Now, while it's very dark, you see a little bit of light flickering in each direction.
Okay, let's Dinjarin, why don't you take a peek, and then I think Salem can go with you.
Are there any rocks or like pebbles on the floor anywhere? Like I want to pick up like a pebble and just throw it in really quick.
All right, where are you throwing it? To the right, to the left, straight ahead?
Just, I guess, because where I am, kind of down to as far down as I can, down the right path.
All right, so you grab this pebble off the ground, sort of roll it around in your hand for just a second and toss it. As the pebble sort of careens to the right, you see bits of dust sort of like twinkling and flickering to the ground. The pebble, because it's awfully quiet, you hear it sort of go, ding, 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 down the hallway.
What are you waiting
All right,
for?
I'll move in a step.
All right. So indeed, as you step through that hallway, at least part of your hypothesis is confirmed. This hallway does sort of curve both to the right and to the left. To the right and to the left, you do see what looks like some sort of a gap in the outer wall. You're not sure what it leads to, and it happens in both directions. So your inner voice says, righty tighty, lefty loosey. You don't know why that popped into your head. Maybe you're related to a carpenter of some sort. I don't know. But it seems like you have a decision. Do you head to the right and to the left? Now, I know in video games, in the real world, I always have the same consistent pattern. So I'm curious to see what you guys come to.
You always go.
I turn back and tell everyone who's, like, obviously because they're not seeing this, I can explain to everyone what it is and be like, which way do we want to go, or do we want to split up, both take a path, or how do we want to...
I'm going left.
All right, why don't you guys, I'm going to turn on, I'm trusting you here. Roughly on each side of the door, I'm going to unlock token movement. I think. Oh, that's no longer a short, oh, I've disabled all the shortcuts. Hold on. Unlock token movement. Okay, so you guys are able to freely move. Please don't be the person who, like, drags themselves all the way across the map. That would ruin it for you. Right. So as Alexandria pops around, she starts to really light up that hallway. Alexandria, what you're seeing to the right is just peeking around, sort of flickering, is some sort of an ancient statue, very similar to the ones that you saw down below or up above. We still have. I'll move Tyros up there. Okay, you got it. Good job. Yeah. So. Yeah, as was described. I'm turning back on token movement. So now you should not be able to move anymore without me getting an approval notification. All right, so it looks like you guys are splitting up. Half the party is going right and half the party is going left. Is that correct? And don't forget, if you want to talk, you have to unmute.
I'm going left. I haven't heard anything from anybody else outside of seeing Alexandria and Tempe go right.
Yeah,
So
let's split.
All right.
Check out
I'll go
this
with,
statue.
Everyone move the direction where you're going to group up, and you guys will get the two teams. Looks like we have Alexandria, Tempe, and Dinjarin to the right. We have Glory. I'm guessing Salem.
Yep. Actually,
Tyros is to the left. The
I'm gonna
benefit
have
of
Salem.
Adam running both characters is that he gets to go both directions.
I'm gonna have Salem go with the other.
Or lose.
Oh, Salem's going with the other group.
Yeah.
All right, and it looks like
Nyan Dinjarin, Salem.
and it looks like your magic user Stefanos is following to the left. I'm gonna stop calling her a healer because, quite honestly, while she can heal, she is a badass magic user.
I go left because Dinjarin's gonna be able to help out on the healing front.
Yes, the dirty secret we heard over a happy hour in the real world was that Dinjarin can also heal. He's a part of his class is healer. So, all right, I'm going to deal with the right group first because in my brain I always go right. If you're ever lost in a video game, always follow the right wall and it'll eventually get you out of the maze. All right. So, go ahead, right group. We're gonna do one round for you guys and figure out what you want to do, and then I'm gonna move to the left group. Back and forth, we'll go. Now, at this point,
What can you see?
if you're in one group,
Alexandria?
you only know what that group knows, even though we can't do the whole like 2 rooms thing in Discord. So just so you know, anything that this group knows from this point on, you don't actually know. Okay, same with the other group. All right. So go for it, northern group or right group.
Okay, I see a funky looking statue. Looks like the ones we saw upstairs. I think that we should like check it out. Does anyone have a particularly high investigation or arcana?
Well, I know that. Just a reminder that Mr. Dinjarin does have detect magic fired up.
There we go.
Wait, yeah, I want to do that.
My investigation's +3.
Yeah, I actually think it should have been over by now. Because if I remember, I think I did the detect magic when we were.
I was literally looking for that to see how long detect magic lasts.
Yeah, because I think I did it when we first entered into the
Yeah, it was 10
first
minutes.
chamber. Yeah, because it was back before the orbs. I think before we even got the orbs, I did detect.
Yeah, and just a reminder, it's blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, or a thin sheet of lead, and about 3 feet of wood or dirt. So just something to keep in mind as you're in a dungeon. Detect magic is being removed. Any other effects that anyone has that should not be? I removed bless, which is why we haven't heard it go. I think everything else seems to be passive, right?
Hellish resistance, resistance of fire, boots of striding.
Glory, you have something called Dragon Slayer, which I'm guessing is because you've equipped that sword.
Who?
Glory, that's you. In your effects, you have Dragon Slayer.
I don't see that.
Go to your action tab and look at the top. Current effects. Dragon Slayer.
Current effects: hellish resistance, resist fire, boots of striding and springing, and find a familiar casting time. Oh, and then it says dragon. Oh, and I got a scroll slayer. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I guess it's.
Hey, GM, I shouldn't have Find Steed casting time anymore because my steed died.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. And Glory, and anyone this impacts, you are not allowed to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 weapons at the same time. So you gotta.
Yeah, that's why I was gonna talk to you about that at the end of yesterday. So I was encumbered, and I've been trying to like unencumber myself. But when Dinjarin handed me the sword, how can I grab something that I don't have hands to grab for? Because like I can put my bone staff on my back and then grab the.
No, don't think about it as casually holding things, right? Because I can hold like 4 bags of groceries, a watermelon, and a can of soda if I have to, right? But I'm not going to be able to fight. So your hands are for fighting. So when Dinjarin reached out and handed you something, you could have just like held your stuff against your chest, right, and then grabbed it. So like that's like we don't want to get too literal. It's really, if in combat, how many hands am I going to use? Am I going to use a 2-handed sword? Am I going to do dual wielding of daggers? Am I going to do a crossbow? Right? So like think of it like that. And sort of the deal is you can have, if it's a 2-handed sword, it's a 2-handed sword. So you can have a 2-handed sword and then an offhand, which means it's like a weapon that hangs at your side. So let's look at your great sword. I believe it's 2-handed. Yes, it is. It's 2-handed.
Okay, well, I don't want to use my great sword right now because I just want to hold on to it because I think I might want to give it to somebody else to use. I don't know if I want to use it. With all the knowledge that I know on it, I might want someone else to use it. I want to continue using my bone staff, but I also want the ability to which is 1-handed. So.
Okay, so go into your inventory.
Yeah.
And go to the items. Hold on, inventory is taking a long time to load. And see how it's a blue circle?
Oh, I see. Okay, just make it white.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second. I'll do that.
Yes. If that makes sense. And you can't do anything that's sort of not carried because you guys have not put anything anywhere. An unarmed strike you can always have. And actually, no. Unarmed strike you can only use if you're not going to have weapons.
Also, I have some things I had bought from the store that if somebody wanted it, they could take it. But anyways, we can do that later. I just need to find this thing, and I can't find it.
So, like, I'm going to unequip your small knife, right? Because you're not going to need that right now, right?
Right.
And you have a fork-metaled rod. What's that for?
I don't know. I don't know how to get rid of things. Like, I tried to get rid of things, and then it would just stay there, so...
You mean try to get rid of things in what way? Like, delete them? Or
Yeah.
put them in the party inventory? So there's two ways. If you just want to drop something, you right-click delete it. But once it's gone, it's gone. You've lost it. Like, the earth absorbs it. If you want to put it in your party inventory to sell later, you drag that little chain link into the party inventory. Those are your two paths.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for reminding me of that.
Yeah, so you have a lot of stuff. So your emblem is fine. The forked metal rod, what the forked metal rod does is arcane focus, a special item, an orb, a crystal, whatever else. This is sort of wand length. A sorcerer, a warlock, or a wizard can use such an item as a spellcasting focus, as described in Chapter 10, if you ever want to read it. By the way, the D&D Beyond, when you guys go create your characters, you have access to all of these books online whenever you want now. Like, you can just go and read them. It's pretty awesome, actually. And there's an iPad app, an iPhone app, right? So you can put them in your pocket or do whatever you want to do. You are welcome. All right, so let me look at your character now to see your build out so far. So you have a bone staff and a light crossbow and 2 daggers.
But
So you have to make a choice. Do you want your crossbow or do you want your bone staff? Or do you want your daggers and your bone staff, or do you want your crossbow and your daggers?
I get it. All right. Let me just like continue, and then with the right people, and then I'll figure my shit out.
Oh, and a bone staff is just one-handed. So yeah, so you can have something in your other hand that doesn't require 2 hands, but a crossbow, I believe, is 2-handed.
Okay.
Can someone verify that? There's a lot of debate online on whether a crossbow is one-handed or 2-handed. I think a crossbow you could shoot like a pistol, but you still have to load it, which is a second hand. Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah.
Also, you're wearing somehow 2 pairs of boots at the same time. So you have slippers of spider climbing and boots of striding and springing. So.
Oh, you're still wearing your
I'm still
spider
wearing my.
slippers.
Oops.
So
Yeah,
I would
it's not
choose
Labor
one
Day.
of those.
Okay. I don't know. Okay, like I said, like
Well, you work on this while I move, and we're going to
Yeah.
do the other group. So this is something that, like, all of you guys, make sure you don't have too many things going at the
no,
same
but
time.
my slippers of climbing are not blue on my sheet. So I don't know why it's saying that, but it says that it's carried, but it's not on. So
Well, let me look and see if it's boots. Oh yeah, it's not. For some reason, it's not on your. It's not. You don't have that effect. Also, yeah, you didn't have to drop your daggers, by the way. Because you only have a one-handed. The bone staff's one-handed. I believe it's one-handed. You didn't have to drop the daggers.
I didn't drop them. I have them carried.
I mean carried. But just so you know, like if you decide that you need to use a dagger during combat, it will take an action to get them back out of your bag.
Okay, there.
Okay, just wanted to
Good
let you
now.
know. Right, now you have at least some sort of a ranged weapon plus a one-handed weapon. And you might want to look up to see if a bone staff is one-handed or two-handed. I don't want to take the time to do it right now, but between turns, you could look and see. I don't know if it's like you hit with it or if you cast with it or what you do with it. So anyway, all right, Dinjarin, you're up in the lead. Did he leave us? I think he fell asleep.
Nope, I was just peeking around the corner. I messaged, or I'll let both Tempe and Alexandria know that I know nothing about magic and investigation, so someone else might want to do it. I'm not very proficient in that stuff.
So Alexandria, you see Dinjarin like at the corner ahead of you, looking wildly confused and a little unsure. You think to yourself, maybe you may want to pop around. I think
I turn back to Alexandria and I say, "Yep, that's a cool statue."
So
and I give her 2 thumbs up. Like,
So
yeah.
who's gonna lead
is.
who's gonna lead A team? This is A team. Who's gonna lead A team?
I can do it.
All right, then you pop to the front then, and you start directing things.
Okay. Everyone. So I think the two relevant checks are investigation and Arcana.
Well, you just tell me what you want to know, and I'll tell you which check to roll.
Oh, okay. What's up with this thing? What does it do? Is it magic? Like, I'll take anything. Is it booby trapped? Like, is it interactable at all?
Indeed. I need you to roll. There's a lot of things. So first, roll an Arcana check.
Awesome.
So yeah, you don't get the sense of anything, but you just sort of passively already know that fire is magic.
Okay.
So that's sort of nothing. Like there's no one like wandering through here, and like there's no janitor like refilling these things and keeping these flames going. Like this is some sort of magics. Now roll the other things. I think you need to roll an investigation check.
Okay. Neither of these are really my area.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'll say. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. You know, you think to yourself, this would look really kind of awesome in my lair. That's it.
You know, okay, guys, A-team, huddle up. I don't know a lot, but I do know that I want that statue. But I also know that I don't know enough to know if it's gonna kill me. So, can someone else please like put their thinking, investigating, or magical eyes to it?
Yeah, and you'll have to get closer to do anything. So this is an
give it a
Adam
shot.
and a Salem moment.
Bum, bum, bum. I'm just gonna go quickest path there.
Yeah, you kind of go
Salem.
around walls. There we go.
Salem is just here to kind of help when necessary, but really just to kind of keep an eye on like what's going on and be able to like tell me like if you guys experience something, maybe we'll experience something. So
That's interesting. That was a really so basically it's your walkie-talkie.
yes,
There is no
I
walkie-talkie
can
into the other
intimidate
team.
the statue, if you
What's
want.
that?
I can intimidate the statue.
You could. Now,
I'm
Tempe,
gonna
you're up there.
investigate it.
All right, roll
I
an
don't know if that
investigation. Good enough. Yeah. So this thing, Tempe, this thing is largely foreboding and decorative. You guys know that there's some interesting. I almost started giving narrative from a different group, and it was all the wrong information. But these statues are, sort of a warning to those to say, like, you're in some place sort of that you may not want to be in. You look at the statue, and it is bigger than you, and you know that while with a small crew with some crowbars and some moving equipment, you could potentially take it out. There's probably no realistic world where Alexandria is going to go home with this statue.
Can I light
To
my
your right
torch
is a
from the
door.
Fire.
As part of your investigation, you jiggle the doorknob, and the doorknob is unlocked.
Ooh. All right. Can I light a torch from the flame in the statue?
You absolutely can. Are you lighting a torch?
Yeah, let's do it.
All
I
right,
think I have a
so
torch in my inventory.
kill one torch,
Sure.
and I'm lighting it up. You are now. You have a torch that will be on for an hour unless you choose to put it out.
Now I only have 10. Okay, and let's open this door right here.
All right. So you open this door, and the light from your torch sort of creeps into the room, which is good because this room is unlit and stale. It's roughly 20 feet by 15 feet, continuing that sort of arching theme found in the hallway. So you can sort of see the walls follow that same curve as the hallway, which is kind of cool. One might describe it even, this room as an arcid rectangle. Okay, so it's an arced rectangle. Jesus. Oh, by the way, the other tool has spell check.
Very nice. And
To your right, or to your left, and straight ahead, there appears to be this sort of coffin and some sort of a storage crate in this room. Good times.
guys, I found this storage crate in here. I'm gonna open it. It's some sort of coffin. Somebody else come in with me. I'm creeped out by coffins.
I'll move in there as well.
I'll also
Okay.
go in.
Ah, says Salem.
I love that was some awesome roleplay. More of that, and I'll get you an inspiration point. Don't forget, guys, you can't walk through walls. All right. You have to move your people through doorways.
Yeah, it was weird. I actually moved mine and he reset for some reason.
Now Salem is hanging out on top of that statue, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Be
Perched
careful,
on.
Salem.
Okay, so you're in, like, so Tempe called you in, and Alexander, you're sort of leading this group, so you let me know when what you guys want to do now. Or Tempe, was your plan just to like go in and just open up the grate?
Yes.
Do you
Awesome.
maybe want to like check it for traps first?
Yeah, that ship sailed. He's already made his decision.
Good call.
Okay.
Yeah. So very cool, right? As you grab, you reach for that crate, Tempe, it comes to life. It turns out it's a mimic, right? So it's not. It was not a real crate. It's a mimic. And almost as on cue, jumping out of that coffin, unsurprisingly, is a skeleton. So you are face to face with the skeleton, Jaren. Mimic Boxy is squared away with Tempe. I need you guys to roll for initiative.
Really quick, Tempe and Alexandria heard a slight yeah, like a little girl screaming when that happened because Dinjarin was startled and scared.
Right. And if you're not in the A group, you will not take a turn. Salem is outside. Yeah, is outside. So you all need to still roll for initiative because it's a thing. But we'll just skip your turn if you're not in the 18. So Salem is unaware at this point.
Well, Salem can hear and heard the creak and heard the scream from Dinjarin, so I think he can deduce.
Well,
that
it wasn't a scream. He said "eep." So, to be fair, was that was just a sort of like a "eep," right? Or was that a scream? I need to know. I need to know that from Dinjarin.
It was a sound of startle, just very high pitched and loud.
All right, so it was from an audible, like give me a roleplay version. I need to hear.
Okay, well, I did it once, but okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Salem wouldn't hear that. He's too far away. And it's through some doors, and Alexandria's there, and there's other rustling around. So like, yeah, so Salem knows nothing unless Alexandria relays that. So
You shouldn't have to relay
Yeah,
it.
woman's going.
so
Salem just hangs it there.
all right, so this mimic surprised you, Tempe. So it's going to get an attack on you, sort of a bonus attack.
Good thing I healed.
I had a question. Is that within 20 feet of me?
It is.
Luckily, I'm startled and my fast twitch
'Cause
muscles are engaged.
Any hostile creature to start its turn within 20 feet of you must make a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw.
Is that? But that's only when
Or-
attacking you, correct?
No, it just says any hostile creature that starts its turn.
So a
within
DC
20
what?
feet. 18. Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, wisdom.
That's because of your helmet, right?
Yep.
All right, so wisdom. Let me pull open this guy. Making my life hard. Why in the world did I give you the gear that I gave you? Wisdom saving throw. It's got a bonus.
I'll be right back, but Salem's just perched.
All right, so what happens with Boxy here?
So he is frightened of me, and he has disadvantages on attack rolls or ability checks.
So he's frightened. Is he frightened only of you, or he's just frightened? Right? I believe he's just frightened. Yeah.
He is just frightened until the start of its next turn.
All right. So he's now. Yeah. So he's frightened, and then what else?
Yeah. And so any attack roll it does is at disadvantage.
All right. That should automatically happen. It missed Tempe anyway, so we're all squared away. You guys have all rolled your initiative, correct?
Yes.
All right. Then at the top of the stack is Alexandria. Alexandria, you're precluded. You cannot use a two-handed weapon. You were holding a torch, so you can only use one-handed weapons. You guess you could use the torch as a weapon.
Just gonna mosey on into melee range.
All right. So you mosey on in. You are now within melee range. Are you aiming towards the skeleton or the mimic?
Mimic.
Ah, so you hit. Solid hit.
God,
And you did
solid.
a bunch of damage. 7 points.
Okay. Gonna take my second attack.
Awesome. And was this poisoned, by the way?
No, it was not.
Jesus. Yeah, you another solid attack. And some more damage. So this poor mimic is having a bad day, you guys. That ends your turn, unless you want to move some more. You have some movement left.
No, I'm just gonna say, be yourself. You don't have to be someone you're not. Mimic.
All right, we're skipping Salem's turn. She said he was going to stay perched. I will, on her behalf, suggest that he's readied if anything comes out the door or comes around the corner. I would argue that was what she would say, correct? Next turn is Glory, who's not really part of this yet. And now we have the Mimic. So, goes after the guy who opened it, and there should be disadvantage. But even with disadvantage, it still hits. And does a bite. A solid 11. And because he hit, you got that, plus there was piercing. So this thing hits you with its teeth, but also that does 1d8 of acid damage.
Oh, wow.
So there we go.
Am I gonna trip balls now?
You could. Tempe, I didn't see any damage. Did it not give you damage?
No.
I don't understand why it didn't give you damage. Hold on. Wounded 11. There's your damage. All right. I was like, man, it barely scratched you, but I'm like, it should have done some pretty bad. So, yeah. So, Tempe, you're thinking like, man, like maybe in a little over my head. Dinjarin, you have yourself targeted as well as the skeleton, according to my stuffs here.
That's weird. Oh, because when I was healing myself earlier. That's why.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack Mr. Skeleton with my ball.
All right. You hit.
Oh, cool. Well, let's see what this does really quick. Because on a hit, you deal an additional 2d6 bludgeoning damage with this weapon. On a hit, foes within a 20-foot radius take 1d4 thunder damage. So, I'm gonna attack this guy.
Yeah, you are.
And the mimic should take 1d4 thunder damage.
All right. So how much? 1d4.
1d4.
And that gives us a 4. So that mimic comes down an additional 4 points. So that brings into this. All right. And that ends your turn.
That's it. That's it for my turn. Yeah, that's it.
And Stefanos, nothing yet. Now, Tyros is up. Nothing for Tyros yet. We're back to Tempe. Now,
Right.
B team, you hear some clattering. It's not clear that it's battle, but you do hear some clattering down the hall. Right
But
now, Salem.
Then
Hold on, what?
I was gonna say, but Salem can't hear anything. Got it.
No, Salem couldn't hear Dinjarin go whatever. Don't forget, we just did a round, so all of that happened simultaneously. So now Salem's like, hey, something's up, right? Sort of sends you your little bat signal, right? And Gloria, so you know that something's up. Now Salem hasn't moved, so all he can tell you is he's hearing what sounds like a battle.
That's what I want.
You want to know that Dinjarin's in battle?
No. That's what I want Salem to do. I don't want him to get involved.
All right, so here's a fun thing we can do now. So we'll speed up combat a little bit. After you roll your attack, if it's hit, don't wait for me. Just go ahead and roll your damage. So you can just do bada bing.
All right, I'm gonna target this fighting box with my spike chain and holding a torch.
No, man, that thing, your die was all over the place. I was like, where was it gonna land?
Okay, I can roll the damage, but I also, the spike chain has some additional effects, so the target can suffer one additional effect of my choice. The target is grappled, the target is not prone, or the target takes 4d10 necrotic damage.
Ooh, what are you gonna do?
But they have to succeed on a dexterity throw. So the box has to succeed on a DC 14 dexterity saving throw, or suffer one of those effects.
All right, so which one do you want to do? Do you want to do one of the effects or that damage?
Well, if it succeeds, then I don't get any of them. So
Right. But it's 4d10, so if it fails, it's probably gonna die.
yeah.
So you're wrestling.
Let's find
You're
out.
like all this is happening quickly in your brain. Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Let's see if it succeeds.
All right, so we're doing Dex saving.
DC 14 dexterity saving throw.
Gotta hit a 14. And fails the saving throw.
4d D10 necrotic damage.
And can you apply that damage yourself or no?
I don't know. How would I do that?
Which is this a feat? What is this? Fighting style?
The spike chain.
Spike chain. Bloop, 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 bloop. This is one of those things that you would have to have coded probably, but let me open your thing. Alright, so we'll do 4d10 necrotic, so I'll just do... Do you know how to roll 4d10?
No.
So, grab the d10 with your left mouse, and then click it for every time you want to add initials. So you need to click it, so you need to be holding 4 dice, and then drop it into the chat window.
I just have a Mac mouse, so.
Oh, so let's do, I'll do it for you then. And that's the d10. 2, 3, 4. So I'm rolling 4d10.
Wait.
And we're applying an additional 20 points of damage to this poor mimic. That brings him to...
Bit me.
And he dies. So this mimic, you see it flicker into a chest and a storage box and a number of items, and then just sort of falls into its organic parts on the floor. This big ass mimic tongue just sort of sitting there. It is gone. It is dead, and your combat is over. So on that note,
You guys, I got bit by a box.
on that note, I'm going to pause, and we're going to go to the other team, B team.
B team.
Are the best.
B team it is. All right.
Be careful.
Alright. So it looks like there's a door in front of this statue.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys, Tyros and Stephanos, do you guys want to investigate this door and this statue, or do you want to continue walking around? We can always come back, because it appears that there might be another door beyond.
Maybe let's continue and see what's up ahead a little bit.
I think what I'll do is I'll do a quick kind of like look at the statue, kind of see if there's anything I can recognize about the statue, and then based on that information, I agree with Stephanos. Like, let's continue.
So you guys, what is your end game? Is it just to sort of cautiously explore, or is it to sort of map the floor? Like, do you have any intentions, or just sort of wandering?
My intentions are to kind of look around and see if there's anything that I can recognize or anything that kind of map the floor a little bit, but not like get too deep into anything.
All right. So, Glory, as you sort of come around the corner, you see there's a door to both the west and the east. Ahead of you is a statue, and you have these little flickers. It's not the flickers you get from the sort of the residual potion that you drank, but these flickers are more like, oh, this is that thing that Salem's sitting on, right? I recognize this from him having sat there, and you already sort of passively know that this is sort of a foreboding statue. It's there's magical fire. It's decorative. You can't move it. So you sort of know all of the things that Salem knows about it, like just passively.
Okay. I would like to know if there's any kind of lore or arcana that I can recognize of the statues, knowing that there's a statue or a flame similar to this in a circle-like room. Is there anything that I can pull, like anything from the past that this might relate to that I can
Roll a history check.
Okay. My buttons are not working. Okay, history. Gotcha. Jesus.
Yeah. So
I have a plus
it's
6 on that.
what's that?
I have a plus 6 on that.
That's with a plus 6. Yeah, that is a classic Glory roll.
That is
Alas, it's your middle of the road, so it looks somewhat familiar. There's been a lot of Baphomet stuff, and it might be related to Baphomet. Who knows? That's about all you know.
okay.
Tyros, Stephanos, while you see sort of Glory, sort of as usual, like sort of stops, right, and just starts thinking on stuff and whatever else. What are you guys doing while she's doing that? All right, so Tyros comes forward. And Tyros, you see the same 2 doors, you see the statue. You don't have that passive knowledge, but you recognize that like these are sort of similar, let's call them decorations that you saw in the puzzle, in the maze.
Does he have a good history check?
Yeah, don't forget to double click. You go into Tyros' character sheet to know that.
Oh. I lean over to Tyros and I say, Tyros,
He's got a plus 2.
I have a plus 2.
you got a plus 2? Thank you. Because I can't open up your character sheet for some reason. Do you know anything about this Baphomet stuff, that maybe like this circular room / these statues? Anything come to mind?
Let me investigate.
So roll. Well, actually, if it's a history check.
Your history.
If you want to know, do you know anything from the past? Yeah, like again, slightly more than Glory knew. You saw these in the lower level. There might be something to do with Baphomet. They look really heavy. The magic's the fire's magic, right? There's just nothing unique. Matter of fact, Tyros, you get the feeling that you're that you're in a wondrous place and you're spending a lot of your time looking at like the decorations.
Yeah.
Like these might be glorified lamps for all you know. Oh, and then
Oh.
Tyros comes up upon the door.
Fucking.
I can't open it. I have to back you up because I can't open anything until you do it. So are you opening the door?
Yes.
Door's open. All right.
Uh-oh.
Not open upon.
So,
For sure.
you know, the door creaks open. Not much to see. A couple of coffins line the walls, but the room is otherwise empty. Less some dirt and some rubble.
Let's just keep walking, you guys. I mean, there's 2 doors. I mean, Tyros, you want to just open up the other door, see if there's coffins in there too? I have no desire to open coffins today. You know?
Makes sense.
Seems like a weird thing to want to open.
So Tyros, you know, you hear Glory tell you that, but you remind Glory that interesting treasures and artifacts are buried with their dead. And, you know, I think
Oftentimes.
yeah, so you never know,
But
right?
I'm more on the mapping mission, so I just want to see what's in these rooms.
All right, so you gonna open up this door?
Yeah.
So you open up this door, and you see off in the corner just a single coffin in this door.
This is but a necropolis.
Okay,
So as
we have
you
3 coffins here.
you know
Got
as you spin away, right? Just the very act of opening the door seems to have awakened something.
Oh,
And this what at first looks like a zombie, but you realize is a little bit more decorative than just a plain zombie. You know, pops up, right? And no sooner does that zombie pop up in front of you, that behind you, you hear something interesting. Nothing is ever easy for me to find, so
close
Treasure
the
pops out.
Close the doors.
I have got to figure out a better way to access sound effects, because this is not it. So there we go. You hear this sliding sound.
Oh gosh.
And
Ooh, a mummy.
so it looks like you're making some friends.
Okay.
Who's got a torch?
So first thing you should do is at
Well, first off, all you know, Glory, is you've heard some stone rubbing, and you've heard from the door to the west something go. "Brr."
yeah, and that's enough for me to be like close the doors, and then I signal to Salem to flutter around Tempe, Alexandria, and Dinjarin as like a signal warning to like, you know, get in their face a little bit and then come towards back to us to lead them back like Lassie.
All right. So Team A, you see Salem fluttering around. While Salem's fluttering, does Tyros take any action? Does he close the door or leave the door open?
Close the door.
All right. So the west door is closed.
The other door. Closed.
He moves across, and as you close the door, these mummies are already making their way towards you. So just as you sort of see them in sight, the doors slam shut.
Well,
And-
they can open doors straight.
There we go. So that's that. So you're at that door now. Salem's fluttering around. A team, he's not moving. He's just fluttering on top of a statue. So you guys hear him, like you hear something going flutter, 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 flutter. If you want Salem to move into the room and flutter, you're gonna have to move Salem.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know if we were actually. So.
All right. So Tempe, Alexandria, Dinjarin, you know, you're sort of admiring the corpses below, and super disappointed that you see no treasure in this room. Right? It's just all burden, no benefit. Then behind you, like Alexandria, you feel like your feathers sort of move and in this sort of light breeze caused by Salem like fluttering his wings. Oh wait, is Salem a he or her?
It's a
Or
it.
non-specified gender?
It's an it.
It's an it. Okay. So Salem just is like flutter, 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 flutter. All right, sounds like you guys are not doing anything. Back to Team B. All right, so Team B, you should have sort of creeping your way backwards. Looks like you're walking backwards, Tyros. And the door to the left and the door to the right explode open. And your friends are here. They didn't bother to open the doors. They just smashed them open. I need you all to... Anyone?
Roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative!
Damn it.
Oops. Wrong button.
Do you want Team 8 to roll too, or?
Yeah, everyone roll for initiative. It's we just skip your turn just in case. But if you decide to like head towards them or whatever else, you'll have to move on your turn. That's why your turns matter. All right, so I need to stack up Salem and Glory. Glory got an 8 initiative. That means that Salem also gets an 8. And we move. As soon as everybody gets done rolling. Did everyone roll? All right. Looks like Alexandria, as usual, top of the stack. So you see Salem fluttering. Are you doing anything with this knowledge? And by the way, don't forget Salem can talk.
Oh, he
I asked
can't?
Salem,
Yeah.
I'm like, Salem, what's up? Salem, you know, as a fellow person with wings, I want you to know that you can... I get it. You know, what's going on?
So I didn't know Salem could talk. I thought Salem was either a different language or mute. So...
Well, I'm going to verify, but I'm looking in where his language...
I thought it spoke a different language.
I
but
thought he
it's
spoke.
okay.
I thought he spoke Draconic and Common.
Oh, maybe. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, getting some spidey senses from my homegirl Glory. Seems like some stuff's about to go down. Maybe even something similar to this. Got to the same feelings.
Yeah.
They could probably use your help over there. You guys should come with me.
So yeah, and he does. I just verified Salem does speak Common. So
Okay.
So Salem's, asking you guys to move on out. That will be your turn. Right, that notification will be your turn when it's your turn to go. But Alexandra, are you doing anything with this knowledge?
Yeah, the treasure here. I'll go join everyone else. So I
All right,
will
make your way.
here and then.
And in case, passively you're like, man, these ceilings are just slightly too low for me to fly. So
Okay,
you're
that's all my best.
all right, Stephanos. All hell's breaking loose around you.
What is it going down? I'm gonna take my potion of fire.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, no, I'm gonna move right here.
All right.
And then take my potion of fire, and I get a bonus action of, after I drink this potion, to exhale fire at a target within 30 feet of me.
Ooh. Yeah, so after drinking this potion, you can use a bonus action to exhale fire within 30 feet of you. The target must make a DC 13 dexterity saving throw, taking 4d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful. So there's damage even if they succeed. The effect ends after you exhale the fire 3 times, or 1 hour.
I feel like Stephanie saw a fire breather at Burning Man. It's like, I could not wait to use this.
Sounds nasty.
I think it was Burning Orc, didn't we? Wasn't it Burning Orc? Then we could clarify that last time. And all of the caravan rental people are so just outraged that their caravans have been totally decimated. All right, so you breathe. So they need to do a dexterity, and this is everyone within 30 feet, right? Oh no, a target. So you specify target. Which one are you looking at? Is it the?
I'm targeting
left?
the zombie priest first.
All right. So the zombie priest does a Dex saving throw. So zombie priest. Bloop bloop. Needs to do a Dex saving throw. Oh, this isn't going to go well for this priest. Oh, it did go well. Because he has a Dex of 6 minus 2. But he does indeed succeed his saving throw. That said, it still provides damage. So, Stephanos, that breath of fire was how much on a fail? 46. So I need you to roll 4d6. So left click the die and then right click. Unless is there damage on it already? Well, let me go. You're in an action mode. Hold on. Action. There you go. So it would be. Oh yeah, it's the little lightning bolt.
Oh, the lightning bolt.
14. And did you drag it onto the zombie like you're supposed to, or did you just hit it?
Oh, sorry. I don't think it is.
All right, so I'll just take 14 off of it. So hold on. So the zombie priest is 14. Yeah. So next time, just drag it on top. So he's got 14 damage. So this zombie is like hurt.
You have disturbed the crypt. You will pay with your life and your soul.
All right. On that note, Stephanos, you have a little movement left, but All right, so she's like, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to pull you off of Glory, if that's okay. There we go.
Okay.
All right, so she's now sort of around the corner, not with an opportunity attack. All good to go. End your turn, and this will bring us to zombie Tweedledum. Tweedledum pushes past his cohort. Mummies are not known for their patience nor their manners. So pops in and is face to face with Tyros. And Tyros, you're sort of squaring things up, and you're like, holy crap. Like, it's 3-on-1 at this point. So, this zombie pulls back its wrapped hand, covered in just nasty bandages and what appears to be maggots, and pops you hard as it can, and fails. This rotting fist flies past you, sort of showering your face with maggots and bits of mummy, and alas, does no damage. Next turn belongs to Dinjarin. Dinjarin, you saw Alexandria jet after hearing Salem's message. What are you doing? Are you staying or passing?
I'll go by and can I? Because you mentioned that the mimic's tongue was on the floor.
Yeah.
Can I pick it up on my way out?
You can.
All right, I'll stop and pick up the mimic's tongue and put it in my back.
All right. That you're in combat. That'll be your action. That'll be your action. So just add Mimic's Tongue to your inventory.
Okay. All right, I'll do that after I finish my roll move, and then from there I will just move out. So that's 10. That's 20, and then right there. That's pretty much all I can do.
All right. Then end your turn. Zombie priest. Makes its way up to get right in there with everybody. And attacks. Glory. And attacks. The attack hits. And you're experiencing a zombie priest slam. Let's see how this feels. Well, it don't feel good.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Ooh.
Yeah, so, your find familiar casting time is now expired. That's what that sound was. The good news is, it partially absorbed Hold on, I'm looking at the zombie. So he did 25 points of damage. But the good news is that you partially absorbed some of the damage, so it could have been worse. So you and the zombie are looking a little similar right now. There's some blood. Zombie priest ends his turn. Wait a minute, does he do anything else? Hold on. Okay. Okay. Good. We're good to go. Next. This brings us to Salem. Salem, you get this feeling, like you feel pain, you feel this connection, like something's going on with Glory.
Well, you told me I already took my turn.
Oh yeah, that's right. You took your turn. So that's that, and so that skips you and Glory. And this brings us to Tyros. So Tyros, you are flanked. The zombie priest to your right is bleeding up pretty heavily. The two mummies, both Tweedledee and Tweedledum, unharmed, but just behind you, you hear Glory, like sort of moaning and groaning in some pain.
That is true.
How long does the buff on Tyros last, Zinjaran? It was applied by you.
Which one is it?
He has an AC 2 buff that you gave him with one of your.
Yeah, so let me look. Duration, concentration up to 10 minutes.
Yeah, so that's expired. All right.
Okay. Tyros does have something called Assassinate.
Cool.
Which gives me advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn yet. So that's Tweedledee. So I will add Assassinate to self. And
all right.
Target Tweedledee with my daggers.
All right.
Oh, sorry, glitch. Ah! Oh no.
What's happening?
Let's see if this works. I don't know. Okay, I think I can still do it.
So it's a hit.
Excellent. Oh, good. Okay. So that means I
You
get
roll. Yeah.
damage, and then there's like something else with assassinate.
All right. So you splay open sort of the side of the mummy and open up its bandages. You see them sort of dangling at its side, but you say there's additional goodness coming. I've heard.
This says you have advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken its turn in combat. In addition, any hit you score against a creature that is surprised is a critical hit. So
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. So it wasn't a surprise.
Okay. Well, it was because I hit him and he hasn't gone yet.
No. It was a surprise. Would be that he didn't know that you were going to hit him.
Oh. Right. And then I think Tyros gets a bonus action, right?
I believe he does.
Yep. And he will. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. All right, I'm just gonna go after the same mummy again. If I can cut off his hand.
There you go. All right. So you take that dagger and you go at its hand, and you connect, and you see this dagger plunge into the hand and sever one of the tendons.
Nice.
Awesome.
Not a lot of damage, but that's all right. And then Hyros gets to. I guess he won't move. 'Cause...
Well, he can if he wants. There's only 3 people to do an opportunity attack on him. How much damage can 3 people do?
He's gonna stay right where he is and pass the torch to Tweedledee. Come on. Sorry, my interfaces all got jammed up. To Tempe.
Tempe. So Tempe is up. Salem is like Lassie. Like there's someone's fallen into the well.
What's that, Salem? Glory's in trouble. But I am still feeling the effects of the acid that that box bit me with? I just moved.
Somehow Tempe moved. I mean, Salem moved. I had to move. Hold on, let me move you out of the way. I had to move Salem back.
Yeah, sorry, that was my fault.
It's okay. All right. So that's your first part of your move. Glory, off in your periphery. Well, you don't see anything. It's the curve of the. Doesn't make it help. All right. Good to go.
Yeah,
And then next,
and
up
I'll
next.
Just heal myself. No, I'm gonna take a healing potion.
All right, heal away. And you heal for 6. Solid heal. Up next, and the price is right, is Tweedledee. You got to end your turn.
Yeah, sorry, it's all my interfaces are.
I know this makes me. Every time it lags, I think we got to use a different tool.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I think this is a good reason why we switched to the other tool.
All right. So again, you see this mummy. You know, one sort of tendon splayed on his left hand, and it raise its right hand and attack you with its fist. And this time, the nasty bandage-ridden fist with maggots crawling around it connects squarely with your jaw. Strap in. So it does a solid 18 points of damage. But with Rotting Fist, I need you to do a saving throw. So I don't know if let me see if this works. Hold on. So Tyros failed its saving throw. So now Tyros is not only hurt, but Tyros is cursed.
What does that even mean?
I'm looking it up, you guys. I'm looking it up. There used to be a little.
Curse of the mummy.
There used to be a little well, why doesn't everybody roll for initiative while I look up cursed? 'Cause it means something. Effects.
You're trying to open these doors.
Right?
We were in the adventure.
Why don't I see my effects anymore? Cursed. What the hell? It's a preset. Sorry guys, give me 1 second.
By the way, I have a stop at noon.
Yep. I think we all got to
Good
stop.
time to stop.
Can someone with D&D Beyond, Curtis, can you look up Cursed for me? And everybody has rolled initiative. Let me roll initiative for these knuckleheads. And then drag it to the top. I need to stack Glory and Salem, so Salem gets a 18. Alright, so the good news is Tyros is up first. Tyros is cursed, so unfortunately I've got to figure out what the hell what cursed means. There used to be little chain links next to these things so I could look and see what they are, but of course not now.
How great would that be? It's just be like, oh, by the way, you came back next week and now you're a zombie. Oops, my bad.
I think zombie would be better than dead, which is the track he's on.
Would
you find it?
Yeah.
No, so when I look up curse, it gives me a bunch of different curses.
Okay, hold on.
This is a mummy
5e
curse.
cursed. Mummy. The mummy targets one creature. Blah blah blah. is frightened. So cursed means it's frightened, that he's frightened.
Okay, so he can't move towards the creature, and then he has disadvantage attack and saving throws.
Yep. All right, so at the beginning of his turn, he has to do that, right?
He doesn't have to move away, but he does. He just can't move towards.
Okay, yeah, and it expires. The curse expires at the end of the mummy's next turn.
Yeah.
All right, so Tyros is up. Go ahead and control Tyros.
Should be on him. All right. Tyros is going to take a potion of greater healing.
In the midst of
Well, it's not a bad move. He could have died.
Yep.
And
then-
he's cursed and frightened, so he might have. He has to attack with disadvantage. Okay, so he has a bonus action.
Knowing
now, right?
David, I would take my bonus action to hide.
All right, so you're gonna have to go around the corner, and if it succeeds,
Yep.
oh my gosh, it's so close to not succeeding.
Barely.
So I'm gonna move him half.
Like
There he
right
goes.
there.
So like he sort of ducks around the corner and succeeds his hide. Now any movement, any action, he comes out of hiding, right? And then that will end his turn.
Philip.
Salem, all alone in the room.
So
Are you moving Salem, or are you going to do Glory?
I am going to do Glory because
Had a feeling.
Salem, yeah, can hang out there for a little bit and worry.
And I need to do some research, Glory, because I'm not convinced that you can't move, but I think you can choose one action. I don't think that's the real rule, but I'm thinking that might be a good rule for us.
Okay.
So
Because
go ahead and move
he's
Salem.
just hanging out room until
Yeah, I
it's
think-
free roll. So.
Yeah, I think go ahead and move Salem. I'll find the final ruling, but I've been thinking about that a lot. It seems like awfully extreme, right? So, but I know it's only one of the actions. So why don't you go ahead and move Salem?
What I could do is I could just be reasonable with it, right? Like, it could just stay with group.
Well, I want
A.
I want a consistent ruling on this, because it's easy to be reasonable now, but if it's sort of life or death, then that reason sort of goes out the window. So it's always nice to have your decision frameworks in place. All right, so
Just
you're
about
up now,
to
Glory.
die.
So go ahead and end Salem's turn and go to Glory.
Oh, okay, cool, got it. Cool. So I'm going to do. I kind of want to do this. I have a wall of fire. I want to put a wall of fire between, like, trapping all three of them inside this hallway.
Oh, interesting. See, wall of fire. So,
It's way more range, but yeah.
1 foot full of wire inside or within it. They all take 5d8 fire damage. So you create a wall of fire on a solid surface within range. You can make the wall up to 60 feet long or 20 feet high and 1 foot thick. Or a ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter. So you could actually build a wall around them.
Right. So I just want to trap them in here, and if it's 1 inch, if it's 1 foot in, then zombie priest will get pretty badly.
All of them will get burned.
Yeah.
When the wall appears, the creatures within this area make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, they take 5d8 damage, or half as much if they succeed. One side of the wall selected by you when you cast a spell deals an additional 5d8 to each creature that ends its turn within 10 feet. Creature takes the same damage when they enter the wall for the first time, or ends their turn. No other side of the wall deals. The other side of the wall deals no damage. So you have to choose if it's the inside or the outside, right? So you would probably choose the inside to keep them in, correct? All right. And 5th level or higher, and you're 5th level, right?
I think I'm. I thought I hadn't hit 5th level yet. Hold on. Where do I check that? Oh, I'm 5.
You're
yes.
Warlock 5. So on a 5th level, that's you. Congratulations on your birthday. When you cast a spell using a spell slot of 5th level or higher, spell slot. Not if you're 5th level. If it's when you hit
it's an action. It's not a spell slot, and I don't have any more.
Well, you have spell slots left, right?
No, I did a spell earlier, and we haven't done a long rest yet. I have a pact magic. I only have one spell.
So wait, did we
slot.
just go through this whole wall of fire thing, and you don't even have a spell slot, right?
No, this is an action. This isn't a spell.
Hold on. Where was I just looking? Where was this at?
This is under my action.
Hold on. Isn't this a spell? It's an evocation. That's a spell.
Oh, so then why isn't it under spells?
Any other casters here have that same issue? I hate this tool so much now. Yeah, because fireballs, fireball, fire shield, command, burning hands. Oh, maybe
Those
those
are all
aren't.
spells.
No, these aren't actions. I mean, these aren't spells.
Yeah.
Damn it. All right. Do it.
So sometimes if you, as a trait, you can of your class or your race, sometimes you get a certain spell as something you can cast without using a spell slot. You
Yeah.
only usually get to do it once before a long rest.
Yeah.
But some classes and traits do have that.
Yeah, that's
I
what she
guess
has.
that's-
Yeah.
That's.
But
probably the same.
does she have to? Can you see? Does she have to choose one thing? Because there's like 40 things. Like
No,
I'm
she.
exaggerating.
It depends on the. I don't think you have to choose it because I think as you get to certain levels, you just get them as a part of your class.
Okay, so basically once a day you can take this sort of glorious action. That makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
as long as you can't cast like wall of fire every turn, because that would just be
No.
you would never
Yeah,
you would never fight anything again, right? You would just always put him in a wall of fire. All right, so go ahead and
She only gets to do it once before she rests.
all right. So let me get my marker out and I'll draw a wall of fire.
Okay.
So this fire sort of appears around these guys.
What? Oh.
No, you want them to fail.
Why is there?
Okay, so how did you not target all of the zombies?
I just put it on zombie priest where I wanted the fire wall to be.
Yeah, so you have to target all the zombies. So he failed his.
Oh, okay. So I'll just do it on all of them.
Yeah, you have to target all of them. No, don't do it. Well, yeah, I guess you have to do it that way. So they failed. Okay, another one. And they all failed. So don't do anything else. Okay, hold on 1 second. We need to target them so you can apply the damage. So target. I'm dragging the target thing from the combat tracker on to that guy. I'm dragging it onto that guy. I'm dragging it onto this guy. All right, now roll your damage. What did they get? What did they get on this?
What do you mean? What do they get on this?
There we go. All right. So this wall of fire lights up, and while you don't see anything, every once in a while you can sort of see between the flames this zombie priest. You sort of see it through the things, and you hear this horrible, horrible shout, and then you smell something that smells a little bit like burning hair, some bad chicken. Like who knows what it is? But poking out from under the fire, you see sort of this charred bit of this zombie priest. Now you still hear some movement in the background, leads you to believe that potentially those two mummies might still be alive. But there's this wall of fire that if you were to pass through, it'll hurt you.
Well, I have protection from fire, so it won't
Yes.
hurt me.
All right,
But
so there you
I
go.
do want to move away because my next turn, I want to take a potion of healing. So I'm gonna move.
Are you moving to the unknown west or to
Yeah,
the
no, I'm gonna-
known east?
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move east.
All right.
The known east. And
That's 20 of your. You still have some movement left if you want it.
Nope.
You have another 10.
That's all I need.
That's all I need. Okay. So you were there, and then end your turn.
Yep.
All right, Tempe, you are up at the end of the hallway. It curves around to the north, and it's like you don't see any doors for a while, so it looks like it's a long bit of hallway, sort of dark. To the south,
Yeah,
you've
I'm
heard
just
some
gonna
mummy
follow these
sounds and
plants.
someone's making barbecue. I love your
Follow
moxie.
the cool pattern in the ground.
Yeah, so you're following you're following this sort of this crypt, and just sort of beyond where you are, you sort of see that it does head north, and it's sort of interesting. You see it also continues slightly to the east, but it looks like it terminates there, like it's a dead end. But yeah, up to the north, it looks like it's sort of an opening. Heads north, and you can sort of see a doorway, at least to the left, creeping out.
Yeah, and I don't really have any actions to take, so I'm just gonna
All right.
pass it off.
All right, pass it
Come
on.
on.
Don't forget, you guys could always ready yourself. Right?
Yeah, I could ready myself in case something pops out. I'll do that.
All right. And then up next is Mr. Dinjarin.
Ready.
So,
So you see
Really
Tempe
quickly-
head north.
really quickly, I was doing reading on the mummy thing.
Yeah.
And did you use rotting fist?
Yep.
And that's what caused the curse?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if I should give you the information I found, because it is kind of jacked up to Tyro. But
Hey,
the curse
gotta
is a
play by the
specific,
rules.
the curse is a specific curse called the mummy rot.
Yeah.
And the cursed target cannot regain hit points, and its hit points maximum decrease by 10 for every 24 hours that elapse. If the
Yep.
curse reduces the target's hit point maximum to 0, the target dies and its body turns to dust. The curse lasts until removed by the remove curse spell or other magic.
Mhm.
So unless any of us have that, Tyros is pretty much dead at this point, unless we can figure out how to uncurse him.
Well, I did take a potion of greater healing. It sounds like it shouldn't have worked.
Sounds like
technically
a-
it shouldn't have
Well,
worked,
well,
but-
wait, hold on. It should have worked, but it does. I thought, because I knew that piece, Dinjarin. But can you read the hit points piece again? Because that wasn't in my notes.
So it says the cursed target can't regain hit points, and its hit point maximum decreases by 10 for every 24 hours that elapse.
Okay, so in 24 hours it'll decrease by 10. I knew that. I didn't know that it couldn't regain hit points.
According to this character mummy character sheet that I found.
So, what I will here's my compromise for this, because that piece I didn't know. I knew the other piece. So every day he's going to lose upper limit of hit points. I'm going to let him be healable. And this wasn't specific to Tyros. This was my plan with the mummies anyway. Was that you could burn through all your potions of healing and all of your spell slots while you're trying to keep your colleague alive. Right, but every day, every 24 hours, he loses 10. Now, in 24 hours, you're screwed anyway if you don't figure this out.
If we're not out.
We're all
Yeah.
gonna be drowned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only used my wall of fire once. And Tyros has to painfully die over it.
Alright, well, with that, I am going to follow Tempe. My mind is like, well, Tempe looks like he knows what he's doing. So
Yeah.
I will just...
All right, that's 25. You got 5 more, I think.
Yeah, let's see.
At the bottom of this round, we're ending the day. We're ending for the day. So the good news is that Tyros
Alrighty.
can watch himself die.
Is that...
He's got time. I'm sure
Is that fire?
Stefanos can come
It
up
is.
with something.
Okay, and then I am going to, unlike Tempe, I'm going to use my action and surge forward more. I get another 30 feet.
Okay.
So I will come to right there. And that ends my turn.
All right. There's your action. That's your turn. End your turn, my friend. All right, so these guys are at the beginning of their turn. They have to in that firewall. They have to take damage, right? Is that right, Glory?
Sorry. Yes.
All right, so we'll take care of. We're gonna end this, but if you have to leave, we'll see you through.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have to.
Yeah, you don't have any more. You don't have any more turns. We're just gonna make sure you're fire damage. How long does this last? It lasts for 1 minute. So that one's when it appears. I set a wall. Oh yeah. So at the end of its turn, or if it crosses through, it takes damage. So these guys are not going to. They're going to try to move us away from it. But there's no, the way you've cast it, there's no way for them to not. So both of these mummies, you need to roll, since you're here still, go ahead and roll damage on Tweedledum. So drag that little thingy onto him.
Tweedledum.
Alright, so Tweedledum, poof, and is gone. You guys smell like burning cloth and fingernail. Doesn't even get to take its turn. Stephanos, you are here. You see that Tyros is cursed, and so while you're a damage dealer, you're also sort of holistically out for other people, and wonder if, just like in nature, if sometimes the cure is not near. Like, sometimes you find that the cure for poison ivy tends to grow near poison ivy itself. So,
I feel like you're giving me a clue.
yeah, I mean, like, the fast track, basically, you might, like, there may be something to help your buddy's curse out if you spend some time searching this floor. Or not.
Yeah.
That's just your sort of passive. You see this shit going down around you. It's pretty intense.
Right. So the fire is still going on. I'm thinking. Sorry, who's cursed? Tempe or Tyros?
I'm sorry, Tyros is cursed. And you still have fire breath, by the way.
Right. But would my fire breath work through that wall of fire?
Yeah. Yeah, I would even argue that I will give you a +5 because you're blowing fire through fire, and this is just sort of it'll amplify. And the problem is, like, you're like I said with the priest, you can see flickers of the mummy, right? So unless the mummy moves and it really doesn't have anywhere to go, like, you see it enough to target it. So it succeeded, so it takes half the damage.
Alright.
And did you hit your +5? So hit your +5. Which is a little +5 at the bottom below the chat window.
Sorry, I rolled that by accident. +5.
You did not target the mummy again. You got to target the mummy.
Oops.
There, I targeted it for you. So go ahead, and I'm going to make you roll it again.
Okay.
So yeah, so it does. It takes half the damage because it was it succeeded its failing throw. But man, you see this mummy is just like smoking and charred as through the dancing fire. Now, next turn. Unless you're moving anymore, you moving anymore? Or are you hanging tight?
No, I'm hanging tight.
Right. So, Glory, go ahead and roll against this mummy to see if it finishes it off. Big day for Glory. Glory rolls are all over the place, man. So that just smokes, and you're left with the smell of like a really bad barbecue place. Anyone who was hungry earlier has lost their appetite. This is not the kind of food that you want to eat. You're out of combat.
Cool.
Has the fire subsided?
Yes.
Only if Glory says the fire has subsided.
Yes, the fire dwindles as it realizes it's taken its last victim.
And there you go. Glory, please make a note that you cannot use this spell again for 24 hours.
Cool. I can't use Wall of Fire, but I can use Fireball, Fire Shield, Burning
Nope.
Hands, Blind.
No, you got
What?
you can. You mean are those actions?
Yeah, they're all individual actions.
Yeah, you get to choose one action every day. Not you can't burn through 20 different actions. It's a once like choose one of those once a day. Is how it works.
Well, shit.
Well,
By
I
the
mean,
way,
like,
does
you dispatched
anyone else-
It worked out pretty great.
you dispatched 3
Yeah.
things with it, so
Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm almost.
Stephanos
Anyone else?
can investigate the tombs to see
Like that, yeah.
if there's something for Tyros, and then we can call it.
And then
Really
can
quick,
I
is
also...
anyone else gonna have barbecue for lunch today? Because I am.
No.
I'm actually. I think we should call it now, and just make a note
Yeah.
that you guys
Alright.
need to look for something.
Yeah.
Because you guys just ended, like I said, we would end at the end of the battle. Otherwise, you're going to get sucked into exploring because, good time.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Save it for next time.
So the next time we pick up, Tyros has been cursed by being slapped by a mummy, by the rotting fist of a mummy. You've dispatched a couple of skeletons. You've run into your first iconic creature, a mimic, right? Classic D&D baddie. And you're wandering around this curved crypt, looking for some sort of a cure for Tyros, while at the same time hoping not to disturb the dead. So, on that, until the next time on the Smite Force Chronicles.